Tonight, let's talk to one of those Democrats, the Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, who sits on the Judiciary Committee. Congressman, the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee said that he will not cave to the Democratic demands that Jeff Sessions come back and testify again. Republicans, you just heard, they are satisfied with his recusal. What are you going to do about this? Are you satisfied?
I'm certainly not satisfied. Jeff Sessions himself said that no one should be above the law. That has to include the Attorney General, who's the chief law enforcement officer in the United States of America. And what is clear is that Jeff Sessions either lied under oath to the United States Congress or, at minimum, provided inaccurate information. In either instance, he would have committed a crime. That certainly seems to me to be the basis for him to at least come back to Congress, the House and the Senate Judiciary Committee, and explain himself.
If you're saying in either case a crime, though, it would sound to me that you're saying he needs to resign. Are you saying that?
I certainly am saying that if it can be proven that he has engaged in either perjury or providing misinformation to Congress, then he doesn't deserve to be the Attorney General of the United States of America. And it appears to me that that actually existed.
You want to give him one more chance to before you say he needs to resign. You want to hear?
Well, I think it's actually reasonable. I'm going to continue to study the record over the next few days, but it's reasonable that the Senate Judiciary Democrats would say they're interested in giving him an opportunity to testify under oath to explain himself.
Okay, so meeting with ambassadors, though, which is what this is all about, it's very common. Speaker Ryan was just asked tonight about this. How often is it how many members of Congress would have met with the Russian ambassador or other diplomats? Here's what Speaker Ryan said.
I would think dozens, if not more, the hundreds. That's very common. We meet with ambassadors constantly as members of Congress. That's their job, is to come and meet with members of Congress and express their interest, their concerns, especially with people on foreign policy committees like Armed Services Committee or the Foreign Relations Committee.
Dozens, if not more than hundreds. Is he being honest?
Well, let's be clear. Something stinks at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and the American people deserve to know, does the rot go all the way up to the top? It seems like all of the president's men, the Attorney General, his National Security Advisor, his Chief Foreign Policy Advisor, his committee, campaign committee chairman, his son-in-law, on and on and on, just so happened to have had all of these communications with the Russian ambassador or Russian intelligence agents at the same time when Russia was hacking into an American election. All we're saying is they should be able to explain that. We need a full and fair investigation.
Okay. Now, we have discovered, though, that Democrats who denied meeting with the ambassador did meet with the ambassador. Claire McCaskill, a senator, is one of them, right? She categorically denied it. She did. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi said this today about this Russian ambassador.
You've been in Congress a little bit, and you're in leadership. Have you ever met with the Russian ambassador?
I'm not with this Russian ambassador, no.
That's not true. She did meet with this Russian ambassador. President Trump actually tweeted out the photo of her meeting with that ambassador. If she didn't think whatever conversation she had with him was worth mentioning, right, or she didn't even remember it, is it possible that when Jeff Sessions says it wasn't relevant at all to the campaign, that's why I didn't mention it, is it possible that that's completely true and that does explain all of this?
Not possible, because let's look at what Jeff Sessions knew to be the case at the moment that he testified. First, 17 different intelligence agencies have concluded that the Russians interfered with our election for the sole purpose of helping Donald Trump become president. We also know that since December of 2015, at least 4 different Trump cronies had frequent communication with Russian intelligence officers at the same time that they were hacking. He knew that the National Security Advisor probably violated a federal statute in December of 2016.
But he said they talked about religion, they talked about Ukraine, it got testy, right? He certainly remembered it, by the way. Yesterday he went through the whole list, but there was nothing about the campaign on there.
This is the greatest set of coincidences perhaps in the history of our American Republic. And if it's just all one big coincidence, let's have a full and fair investigation so the American people can know the facts.
Before you go, I want to understand, though, still, when people who think this could be political. Then Attorney General Loretta Lynch, of course, met with Bill Clinton privately. This was something that incensed Republicans. They called for her resignation, right? Similar to what we're hearing now from some Democrats. President Trump at the time tweeted, "Does anybody really believe that Bill Clinton and the U.S. Attorney General talked only about grandkids and golf for 37 minutes in the plane on the tarmac?" Which sounds a lot like what people are hearing, what we're hearing now about people who say, "Oh, of course, we really going to believe Sessions didn't talk about the campaign." Here's what Republicans are saying.
If it was benign, why did he give the answer he did? Again, I'm a former prosecutor. These are the kind of things that raise a lot of questions in my mind.
Of course, I meant Democrats. Why is what Democrats are doing right now not just playing politics?
Well, because we're concerned that a foreign power may have interfered with our election in what is really an act of 21st century warfare in terms of the cyber hacking that took place. And we think that this is not a partisan issue, and that Republicans should put country over party, and let's follow the facts and give the American people the answers they deserve.
All right, Congressman Jeffries, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.